Welcome to Pure Physics. Today we're going to see chapter number 1, Nature of Physical World and Measurement of Class 11 Physics Tamil Nadu Board. Today's topic is propagation of error, and the subtopic of today's video is error in difference of two quantities. In my previous class, I would have said about error in sum of two quantities. In that, I gave an explanation for delta A and delta B using a numerical problem. Now let me tell you what is it based on a definition. So it is an absolute error. And what is an absolute error? Absolute error is nothing but the magnitude of difference between true value and measured value. What is true value and what is measured value? Now consider in your experiment part in a practical session, you have given an experiment, and in the manual they have given you a tabular column which consists of 4 sets of readings. That means you need to take 4 sets of readings in that experiment. So now you take 4 values, 4 final values that you have got after doing your experiment, which is A1, A2 and A3 and A4. Now they are asking you to find the mean of these values. So if you want to find the mean of these 4 values, what do? You add all these 4 values and then divide those values with 4, right? This will give you your arithmetic mean. So here you are taking 4 values because they have asked you to take 4 readings, and to find the mean you are going to divide those values with 4. This arithmetic mean is nothing but your true value. Okay, and this A1, A2, A3, A4, they are all your measured values. What are these? They are all measured values. Now how do you take this absolute error? Now if I want to find the absolute error of A1, how do I take it? I need to take the magnitude. Magnitude is nothing but modulus. So if you want to find the absolute error of A1, you're going to take modulus and you're going to subtract true value and measured value. So true value is nothing but AM. So you're going to take AM minus, you need to find the absolute error of A1 or the first value of your reading. So you're going to take A1. So AM minus A1 will give you delta A1. Now let me give you a numerical value there. If my AM is 5 and A1 is actually 10, then what will be my answer? Modulus of 5 minus 10, which is equal to modulus of minus 5. Whatever symbol you have inside modulus, the answer will be always in positive. Will always be in positive. Okay. So this is what absolute error means. Now let us move on to the next step of this derivation. Now I'm going to take measured value. Measured value of A. Measured value of B. So if I want to take the measured value of A, as I did it in my last video, it is always the same. It will be A plus or minus delta A. It will be either slightly more than A or slightly less than A. For B, it is the same, B plus or minus delta A. Then the difference, since I'm going to find the error in the difference between two quantities, I'm going to take the difference as Z. Z is equal to A minus B. So this is my expression before I'm going to start this derivation. Now this final answer will also contain error. Therefore, I can say Z is equal to A minus B. Right? So in the place of Z, I'm going to substitute Z plus or minus delta Z, because when you substitute A and B from this equation, obviously the final answer will contain error. So the final answer will either be slightly greater than that of that error or slightly less than that of that value. So now Z plus or minus delta Z is equal to, in the place of A, I'm going to substitute A plus or minus delta A, minus, in the place of B, I'm going to substitute B plus or minus delta B. Now I'm gonna multiply this minus with b and this delta b. What would I get? Will be a plus or minus delta a, minus into plus b is minus b. Now you need to multiply minus with plus or minus. If you multiply minus with plus, you will get minus. If you multiply minus with minus, you will get plus. So it becomes minus plus into delta b. So your expression becomes a plus or minus delta a minus b minus plus delta b, which becomes, if you rearrange this term, you need to take a and minus b. So your expression becomes a minus b plus or minus delta a minus plus delta b. Let me take this a minus b in bracket and I'll write this z plus or minus delta z here. Now do I know a minus b as z? Because the starting step of my derivation is z is equal to a minus b. So in the place of a minus b, I will substitute z. Z plus or minus delta z is equal to, in the place of a minus b, I'm going to substitute z. And I'm going to put the same sign, plus or minus delta a minus plus delta b. Okay, so z plus or minus delta z is equal to z plus or minus delta a minus plus delta b. Now this z and z will get cancelled. This z and z will get cancelled. And now we have plus or minus delta z is equal to plus or minus delta a minus plus delta b, which will be left with delta z is equal to delta a minus plus delta b. Now I want the maximum possible error in the difference of two quantities. If I want the maximum possible error in the difference of two quantities, then my error should be in positive. Therefore, I will neglect this minus and I will take delta z is equal to delta a plus delta b. Why am I taking only positive? Because the maximum possible error, so the maximum possible error in the difference of two quantities. So when you subtract a minus b, what is the maximum error in this expression? Is nothing but when you add those error, you will get the maximum value of those error in the final quantity. So for that reason, I am going to take delta z is equal to delta a plus delta b. So for this, you need to give a definition saying that for maximum possible error in the difference of two quantities is equal to sum of absolute error of the individual quantity. So for maximum possible error in the difference of two quantities is equal to sum of absolute error of the individual quantity.